This meeting is now being recorded. All guests have been unmuted.
Good morning, everyone. This is Lenita Hartman, and this is the monthly EITA call, and I am happy to introduce Angela Graham, and she is the program coordinator for the home visiting program out of the Division of Community and Family Support in the Office of Early Childhood, and she is going to be giving us an overview today of some home-based visiting programs in Colorado and how we can work more collaboratively together. So I'm going to go ahead and mute your lines and turn it over to Angela.
All guests have been muted.
Thank you, Lenita. I'm happy to be here today presenting to you. I'm going to be presenting on an overview of HomeV evidence-based home visiting programs in Colorado. And for those of you that don't know what HomeV is, it's Home Visiting Evidence of Effectiveness. We tend to use a lot of acronyms here at CDHS, and I do apologize that I put that in there, but it is the acronym that we use. Home visiting at a glance. Well, let me back up. We were asked to present to you today to give you a little bit of a background on home visiting and also to give you a background on our programs, and also because we've put together this referral form that I think will help in a lot of different ways in helping kids get referred to our home visiting programs. And but before I get to that, I want to discuss those programs and discuss what home visiting is. So I'm going to start with this first slide. So home visiting at a glance. So we fund voluntary evidence-based home visiting programs to improve child health and development. And these programs encourage positive parenting and promote child development, school readiness, and may prevent child abuse and neglect. The program does not require that families participate. It's not a court order or anything like that. So families elect and they choose to participate in the home visiting program, and they receive advice and guidance from a nurse or a health professional or a social service person, a mental health person, or a child development professional. And with this help, the parents then learn how to improve their family's health and better provide opportunities for their children. So the purpose of home visiting, there's many different purposes, but these were the ones that I wanted to talk about mostly today, is to improve health and development of children, to prevent child injuries, child abuse, neglect, or maltreatment, and reduce emergency department visits, improve school readiness and achievement, reduce crime, including domestic violence, and improve family economic self-sufficiency. We really want our families to be able to be self-sufficient and to be able to not depend on services that a lot of the services that CDHS provides. So the HomeV evidence-based models that I have listed here, Healthy Families America, Healthy Steps, HIPPY, NFP, PAT, Safe Care Colorado, and Early Head Start are all HomeV evidence-based models. And what that means is that they've gone through strict evidence-based guidelines. And I'm going to go through all of these today and walk you through what the requirements are for each of if you have a family that needs to be directed to one of these programs, and what the requirements are for them. Back to that slide. Here at CDHS in the Office of Early Childhood, we fund Healthy Steps, HIPPY, NFP, and PAT. The other ones we don't currently fund. And Safe Care Colorado is funded through CDHS, but not through this office. So Healthy Families America is the first program that I want to talk about. And it's designed to work with overburdened families who are at risk for adverse childhood experiences, including child maltreatment. And you'll see that all of these programs are very different. There are some similarities between the programs, but then there are some differences between the programs too. They need to be equipped to work with families who have histories of trauma, intimate partner violence, mental health, and/or substance abuse issues. Families will receive services for up to 3 years, and services may be extended up to 5 years. So visits occur weekly, biweekly, or monthly, depending on the client's level of need. Yeah. Must enroll. So for this, for the eligibility for Healthy Families America, they must enroll prenatally and up to 6 weeks postpartum. And the program targets teen parents and those who become pregnant with their first child as teens. It also targets families who are homeless, have active domestic violence or substance abuse in the home, parents who are diagnosed or have a history of a mental illness, and fathers who are the sole primary caretakers or who share primary caretaking of their newborn. So for the outcomes of HFA, we really want to build and sustain community partnerships to systemically engage overburdened families in home visiting services prenatally or at birth. We want to cultivate and strengthen nurturing parent-child relationships, promote healthy child growth and development, and enhance family functioning by reducing risk and building protective factors. So Healthy Steps is the next program that I want to talk about. And as I mentioned before, this program is funded by the Office of Early Childhood. This program is embedded in pediatric primary care settings, so in doctors' offices. It serves children birth through their 3rd birthday, and it's intended to provide families with comprehensive information about development and behavior. So this program pairs a family with a Healthy Steps specialist when they come in for their well child visit. And then in addition, they also get home visits 1 to 2 times per year. And then they receive continued support to provide families to strengthen the link between the family and the primary care practice. So the eligibility on this one, all families who could benefit from additional education and support, which is a little bit different than the Healthy Families America, where it was teen parents and teen parents and parents that had a history of mental illness. So the focus areas for Healthy Steps: enhanced pediatric primary care, providing families with increased information about child development, supporting families as they navigate life with a young child, providing referrals to resources, and facilitating connections with those resources. So the Healthy Steps specialist is actually embedded in the pediatric primary care setting, and they visit that person when they go to see the doctor. So it's a real collaborative type of visit that they have with their doctor's office, and they can really tell how their child is developing, and then they can provide referrals and to different resources based on that. So the outcomes, you can read all these outcomes. I'll read a few of them. So the families are more likely to have a continuity of care, obviously because of what I just discussed with you, because of the Healthy Steps specialist being involved in their life. The date on the being up to date on vaccines. If they have someone that they're visiting along with their well child visits, they're obviously going to be up to date on their vaccines. Their families are more likely to use positive health behaviors, just having the infant sleep on their back. So the Healthy Steps specialist really uses everything that he or she knows to give more information to the family. As you can see in the outcomes, provides opportunities to discuss feelings of depression or anxiety with someone in the medical practice. Families have more positive interaction with toddlers, fewer harsh discipline strategies. Families are more likely to be read to on a regular basis, and families are more likely to receive developmental screenings. So HIPPY, Home Instruction for Parents of Preschool Youngsters, is what HIPPY stands for, is a peer-to-peer based model, and this is also funded by the Office of Early Childhood here at CDHS. So many HIPPY home visitors participate in the program prior to working in the actual program that they currently do work in. So there are parents that are providing peer support. The HIPPY program delivers the curriculum over a period of 30 weeks each year, and it usually corresponds with the school year. So in addition to weekly home visits, there's at least 6 group meetings per year, which are held with the parents to help build community and engage children in enrichment activities. And these activities and group meetings are very important, and I know that some of our HIPPY groups have used different tools to get people to come to their groups, and they have used things like we'll give you diapers or we'll give you gift cards, things like that, to give just as a type of incentive. And it really does work. Home visits last about 1 hour, and the group meetings last about 2 hours. HIPPY focuses on early literacy, and it also provides referrals to other resources. So eligibility for HIPPY serves children ages 3 through 5, and sometimes age 6, depending on the child's birth date in relation to the school calendar year and when they enroll. It targets families with low income, poverty, low educational attainment levels, and limited English proficiency, single parenthood, and teen parents. And very different from the last slide on HFA and Healthy Steps, which targeted all families were eligible. So the focus areas, because HIPPY is connected to early learning and literacy, the concepts are also connected to early learning. And so they focus on reading, writing and drawing, listening and talking, singing, rhyming, playing games, cooking and sewing, shapes and colors, puzzles, and more learning concepts like these. So the HIPPY coordinator will actually bring out different concepts like these and work with the parent and the child on these concepts each week on the visit. So the HIPPY outcomes: increased school readiness and social emotional development and literacy, and increased parent involvement. Nurse-family partnership, also funded by the Office of Early Childhood, partners first-time moms with nurse home visitors. And it starts working with pregnant moms before they give birth and continues working with the family until the child's second birthday. So home visitors address questions and concerns, prepares moms for childbirth, and helps ensure that they deliver a healthy baby. So NFP conducts weekly home visits every other month after enrollment, and then every other week until the baby is born. And visits may be weekly for the first 6 weeks, and then every other week until the baby is 20 months. So that's the visit schedule, which is pretty intense. The Nurse-Family Partnership supports women to take control of their physical health, provides guidance on child safety, helps mothers establish goals regarding employment and education, and promotes strong mother-child relationships and helps mothers assess relationships and build strong support networks. So these nurses really they go in and they really work with the mom from before, technically from before the baby is born until a child's second birthday. So for NFP eligibility, birth until the child turns 2, first-time moms never having had a live birth, need to be enrolled within 30 days postpartum, and low income, 200% of the federal poverty level. NFP focus areas, improve pregnancy outcomes by helping women engage in good preventative health practices, including obtaining thorough prenatal care from their health care providers, improving diet, and reducing the use of cigarettes, alcohol, and illegal substances. That's very important to our NFP nurses. Improve child health and development by helping parents provide responsible and competent care for their children, and improve the economic self-sufficiency of the family by helping parents develop a vision for their own future. And plan for future pregnancies, continue their education, and find work. So the NFP outcomes are to reduce smoking during pregnancy, to reduce low preterm birth rate, low birth weight rate, and almost all clients initiate breastfeeding. Almost all children are up to date on immunizations, and to continue and finish school and obtain jobs. So as you can tell, the NFP nurses don't just work with the baby and the mom on breastfeeding and pregnancy-related questions. They work with the mom on trying to finish school and obtain jobs, as well as keeping the child up to date on the immunization. PAT, or Parents as Teachers, also funded by the Office of Early Childhood, is designed to ensure that young children are healthy, safe, and ready to learn. Parent educators aim to increase parent knowledge of early childhood development, provide early detection of developmental delays and health issues, prevent child abuse and neglect, and increase children's school readiness and school success. So there's 10 to 12 home visits annually at a minimum, and programs must offer higher need families 20 to 24 visits annually. Group connections are offered monthly as well. So those group connections classes are similar to the HIPPY group connections classes that I talked about earlier. And PAT eligibility are ages 0 through kindergarten, targeted to families with low income poverty and low educational attainment levels, limited English proficiency, single parenthood, children with disabilities, teen parents, and multiple children under the age of 5. The outcomes that we want to reach for PAT is to increase in healthy pregnancy and improve birth outcomes, increase in parents' knowledge of the child's emerging development and age-appropriate child development, improve parenting capacity, parenting practices, and parent-child relationships, early detection of developmental delays and healthy issues, and improve family health and functioning, and children who are healthy, safe, and ready to learn is the ultimate goal. Safe Care Colorado is not funded by the Office of Early Childhood, but it is a program of the Colorado Department of Human Services. And it's an evidence-based home visitation program that's been shown to reduce child maltreatment among families with a history for maltreatment or with risk factors for maltreatment. It lasts about 16 to 19 weeks, and there's 3 modules: home safety, child health, and parent-child interaction. It serves ages 0 to 5, and in order to be eligible, you need to be a family at risk for entering or re-entering the child welfare system. The focus areas for Safe Care Colorado are home safety, child health, parent-infant or parent-child interactions, communication and problem-solving skills, and resource connections. So the home visitor in this case would be talking about the home safety, do you have your outlets covered? Do you have your immunizations up to date for your child's health? Do you have, what kind of interactions do you have between the parent and the infant? And then communication and problem solving skills as well. The outcomes for Safe Care is improvement in all three areas of child health, safety, and parent-child interactions, fewer re-reports to child welfare, and a significant decrease in maternal reports of depression. So I put together this table that shows what the best options are, because we have all these programs, and it's a little bit overwhelming to kind of think, who do I refer where? Who do I refer to what program? There's, you might have one child that would fit here, or one child that would fit there, or one child that would fit in both areas. So I put together this table that's the best. It's called a best options table, and if you can see where it says high risk families, medium risk families, low risk families, and you can tell that NFP is really geared towards high risk and medium risk families. You wouldn't want a low risk family going into NFP. And likewise, HIPPY is for low risk families, as well as Healthy Steps is for medium and low risk. But Healthy Steps would not be for high risk families. And HFA is for high risk families, but would not be for low risk families. So I put together this table because I thought that it would be useful to see the differences between the programs that I presented on today, and to give you a bit of a different overview and just some guidelines to look at when you might be needing to see who to refer where. Okay. So there's a question in the chat, a high and medium risk family. Can you define high and medium risk family? So a high risk family would be one that would be less the 200 the low income 200% poverty rate is a high risk family. So if you're not in that category, then you wouldn't be a high-risk family. Medium risk family would be not in that category. Okay, so we have I mentioned in the beginning that I put together this link to a referral list. I put together this link to the referral list, and it's on our website. And I put together a very long, it's 32 pages of all of the counties in our state with home visiting programs, and it's not a comprehensive list yet. Soon it will be a comprehensive list, and I'm hoping that by June, that's my goal, it'll be comprehensive, just because there are so many homegrown home visiting programs, and some of them we're still researching, trying to find out more about them. So, but you can find this list on our website, and it's uploaded right now to this link, and I hope that it will help you when you're trying to decide who should be referred where. It starts with the program name, the agency, eligibility, local contact, phone number, and email. So it's pretty comprehensive as far as who to contact and where to contact, and the eligibility that I already discussed in this presentation is on there, so you should be a little bit familiar with that. But the agency is on there, like I said, and the program name, so you should be a little bit familiar with that as well.
So Angela, this is Lenita, and we have a couple other questions in the chat. So Laura is from the Fort Collins area, and she's curious if these programs are available in all areas. Can you speak a little bit to, I know you probably can't address where they all are, but can you talk to that a little bit?
The programs are available in all the counties except for Hinsdale County, where there's no birth rate. But not all of the programs are available in each of the counties, if that makes sense. So there might be Healthy Steps in one program, but not HIPPY, or there might be Healthy Steps in one county, but not HIPPY in that county. So it would be a good idea to just look at the referral list and see what county has what program in it. I hope that helps answer your question.
Great. And then Laura Merrill would like to know if the risk factors are solely based on income, or are there other considerations such as having a child with disabilities or extensive health care needs? Does that put them in a low, medium, or high risk?
Yes, that would put them in a different category. Child abuse, you know, any of those risk factors would put them in the different categories.
Great. Thank you. Okay, so now I am going to unmute your lines to see if we have any other questions for Angela. And then at the end of her presentation, we have contact information as well for Julie Becker, who is the program director, and can answer further questions as well.
All guests have been unmuted.
Are there questions for Angela about how you might collaborate with some of these programs? Okay, well, thank you so much, Angela, for joining us today. And we have Julie's contact information up here as well, and this PowerPoint is posted on the EI Colorado website too. So thank you again.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bear with us for a moment. We're going to shift here a little bit. Okay, so I want to go ahead and give you some more state updates today. Wanted to take an opportunity to talk a little bit about, we've had some questions about training, and with some of our reorganization of our internal team structure, we've been talking a lot about the Early Intervention Colorado team capacity for training. And we're trying to be very thoughtful and strategic about how we can continue to offer high quality training that needs to occur, and also and meet the needs of the state for training, and preserve especially Laura and Wayla's time to offer more specialized technical assistance. So in light of that, we have decided that we are going to offer fewer face-to-face trainings for the IFSP and service coordinator core competencies moving forward. And really the goal is that this training is available to meet the needs of service coordination requirements and competencies, and we know that there has been a increased interest and participation by providers in the state training, and just really looking at our capacity, we want to support community center boards in getting the resources that they need to train providers, so having access to our state-developed modules and, connecting with Laura and Wayla around how to train on that. But in terms of sending providers, we're discouraging that. We're going to prioritize for service coordinators and on a space available basis, permit providers to attend. So that's a bit of a change that we wanted to make you aware of, and we will send out a formal communication around that so that you'll have a note of that. So the service coordination core training is going to be offered in August, the 24th and the 25th, December 16th and 17th, 2015, and then again in April 5th and 6th of 2016. The other piece with the core is it's going to be adjusted to be a 2-day in-person training in addition to the online component instead of the 3-day core training that we have been offering currently. The IFSP training is going to be offered in July and September, November, and then it will be offered again in January of 2016, March, and May. And again, as I said, the priority is going to be for service coordinators and EI coordinators and directors for that training.
Outcome summary.
Now, the Child Outcome Summary Training webinar, right now we've been offering that online 2-day training as a courtesy to CCBs. It is an expectation that the community center boards ensure that individuals conducting ratings are trained in that, and you should have identified a child outcomes trainer for your community. We're working on adjusting the frequency of the training for 2015-16. We may be recording that webinar, offering it in a compressed format as well. So we're determining what's going to make the most sense to support community center boards in getting that done. Moving forward, as we roll out the integration of the IFSP and the 3 global child outcomes, it stands to reason that this child outcomes training will be folded into the IFSP training. So it's going to be, it's going to resolve itself, but for this year, bear with us while we straddle 2 worlds, the current training and adjustment of that and development of new training, because a lot of our time is going to be taken up with developing a new improved training platform and format. Okay, so we have a couple questions in the chat, and you guys are unmuted right now, so you can also jump in if you have questions. At this time, we don't have a plan to offer the IFSP training on the Western Slope. Again, right now we're really looking, at a capacity issue, and so we realize that it can be a burden to travel to come into the metro area for that training. But right now, that's the format that we're able to offer it in. And then I see a comment from DDRC that they're in support of recording the Child Outcomes webinar so that it's available for providers and others to access online. And we agree, Mickey. That's something that we really feel would be beneficial. We're trying to work out the interactive component of that right now. So it may be that we would have a combination of a recorded online format that participants could engage in, and then maybe have a community of practice call or office hours to ensure understanding and to answer questions. So we're working through that, so bear with us a little bit. But we're really committed to devoting time to develop some web-based materials in 2015-16 and getting it more widely accessible so that all the training that we have available for service coordinators and EI coordinators and directors could be available for providers as well. We hear that there's a need for that, and we agree. And so that as we move to not only compliance but increasing quality, that is a goal of our team. Other questions related to training? Okay. So we are ready to roll and are getting excited to gear up for the EI coordinators statewide meeting. And after the call today, we will be sending out this information with the SurveyMonkey link. So you don't have to worry about making a note of it or anything right now. It will be held on Wednesday, May 13th, and that first day will begin at 8:30 and go until 5, and that was based on feedback that you wanted to go for a longer day the first day and have a shorter day on the second for traveling. And the second day will be Thursday, May 14th from 8 to 3. And we're going to be holding it at the Tim Gill Center in Colorado Springs. And it's not El Pomar. We tried really hard to get in there. We had a lot of positive feedback about that venue last year, and we're just not able to make those dates work with our meeting that they had availability. But the Gill Center is nice. It is going to be a cozy fit, and to that end, we are going to be really vigilant about limiting participation to 2 individuals per CCB. And I know that can be challenging for some of the larger CCBs. So for those, for instance, DDRC, we recognize that you have DDRC that serves Jeffco and then Summit, so we would have an expectation that there would be 2 from DDRC in the Jeffco area and then Georgette from Summit, and the same with Eastern. So we recognize that. But we're really going to have to hold firm to that because we're going to be a little cozy in our meeting space here. So please work with Tracy, fill out the SurveyMonkey. That's going to act as your reservation to the meeting, and you're going to make your accommodation preferences known. So even if you don't need a hotel reservation, please go on to the SurveyMonkey and indicate that you're coming to the meeting so we can plan for meals. And we will have an agenda out as soon as we have it finalized. If you have a laptop or a tablet, feel free to bring one. It's not required, and dress comfortably and ready to work and engage. So we're excited about that. I know that Inspiration Field is hoping to hold on to the NOM for another year. They've really enjoyed hosting that NOM, so be thinking of your questions for Stump the State so that you can challenge Inspiration Field from their victory last year. Any questions related to the EI statewide meeting? Okay, excellent. Inspiration Field says, woohoo, okay. Okay, so Beth, are you on the line? Do you want to talk about the draft allocations?
I am on the line, and the draft allocations, we had a small group from the EI Alliance Task Force get together to really look at maybe some other creative ways to do the allocations. And I think we're going to be looking at that for next year. For this year, what we have done is for the average monthly enrolled, we took the number, whichever one was higher, of either the AME for the past year, for the past 12 months, or Jake in our office, one of our data analysts, has put together projected AME for each CCB based on historical trends and growth factors and everything. And so we took whichever number was higher to determine your AME for the allocations. And then we recognize that 45% of the Medicaid kids, actually 55%, are taken out of the number of kids you're funded for direct services, and you don't get any management fee for those kids. So we decided to try and put back as many of those Medicaid kids as possible into the calculation for a management fee, and we were able to do an additional 13% of those Medicaid kids. We recognize it's not all of the kids, but it's a start. It's moving in the direction, recognizing that it takes some management time and administrative time to be able to have the CCB encouraging Medicaid billing and supporting that with your providers. So the allocations are going through clearance right now, and once they get through clearance, we will send them out with the contract. The other piece in the contract is we are talking with, it was recommended from the Alliance Task Force that there be a little bit more leeway to be able to move funds back and forth between the different line items. And so we are having those conversations with Mary and Marianne to determine if we can do that in the contracts this coming year. So those will come out as soon as we get everything through clearance, and so be looking for the contracts. Are there any questions? Okay.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you, Beth. Okay, so we have, once again, it's that time of year where we are recruiting for the Colorado Interagency Coordinating Council membership, and we are really looking to add some diversity to that group, and that's actually a charge, as many of you are aware of, with your local ICCs, and the governor's office is really they're very conscious of who we have participating in this, and so we're specifically in need of representation from fathers of children with disabilities and families of Hispanic origin. So if you have thoughts on who might be a good participant and would be interested in this, contact Wayla, and she can help you with that. The online applications are due by April 20th. So we've got a little bit of time, but not so much. So we could use your help with that. Okay, so just wanted to refer to some dates that you might want to keep in mind. We are in the process of rule review, the formal rule review process, so that will take place tomorrow here at CDHS, as well as May 8th. And then April 7th, we will be having a informational webinar for the 5 potential early implementation communities that we've identified to move forward with the integration of the IFSP and child outcomes, and that is moving right along. We have met multiple times and are in the process of reviewing the current IFSP form and making additions and changes to that, as well as considering the whole IFSP process from referral to transition and how we can support the early implementation communities with that. We hope to have been able to announce the early implementation communities today on the call, but we had to postpone the webinar due to illness, so we're running a little behind schedule, but everyone we have contacted has been really eager and excited to participate, and our team is eager and excited to get this going in July. So you will hear more on an ongoing basis about these activities as we move forward. There is an IFSP training on April 13th, and it is full at this point, so we just wanted to let you know if people are asking about it that it is full. Please expect to see it's time to start talking about the Family Outcome Survey. It should be mailed out here between the 9th and the 15th. So if you have questions related to that, Wayla can answer that. Beth, do you want to talk about the Dean's Luncheon that's going to occur on the 16th?
Yeah, the Fiscal Cohort Advisory Team has been working on issues around provider shortages, and one of the activities that was suggested we pursue is talking to the deans of the schools that turn out the OTs, PTs, speech therapists, and ECSEs to get them on board with helping to maybe modify their programs to maybe have an early intervention track, or to figure out ways to have enough practicums or internships that are focused on early intervention to help increase the number of providers who have the appropriate training to work in early intervention. So the start of that is April 16th, and we will be meeting with people from CSU, their school that turns out OTs, UNC for their ECSE program. We have yet to hear back from CU and their speech program, but we've got somebody coming from Regis for their PT program, and a few people coming from UCD in the ECSE program. And so we hope to really have some good conversation around how can we work on the provider shortage issue from the schooling side of things, and not just, trying to recruit people who are already in the field. So we're very excited about this, and we hope to come out with some good action steps moving forward.
Great. Thank you, Beth. Okay, and so there are a couple other dates there to note, and I see that we have a little bit of extra time, so if we have any, are there any CCBs that have any announcements they would like to share? You're unmuted, so if you have something you'd like to share or questions, that would be great. Sarah Sims, are you still on the line? I don't want to put you on the spot, but I know that Mountain Valley has exciting news.
I am on the line, and actually we were just giggling about that. We weren't gonna make the announcement on the call today, but Sarah Brotherson, who has been a longtime children's case manager and placement manager and adult case manager here with us, has accepted the position of the Director of Child and Family Services. So she'll be taking my place here.
And you are stepping into a new leadership role within your CCB as well.
That's right. So it'll be about a 3-month rollout before we're all transitioned into where we need to be. But I'll still be around.
Great. Well, congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
This is Wayla. I'd like to make an announcement about the PEAK Universal Application.
Great, Wayla.
So the PEAK Universal Application went live for early intervention on March 22nd. So we would be interested to know if you think you're receiving increased referrals from that. However, it's not a referral that's being made. It's just under the Am I Eligible portion, and letting families know if they indicated they have a child who's aged birth through 2 and they have a concern about their child's development, then they are instructed to call the Community Center Board based on the map on the website. So it's not a referral that you'll be getting directly from the website, but families may be calling. They may be letting you know that they were referred by PEAK. So that could be a little bit confusing because there is PEAK Parent Center, and this is the PEAK benefits website. So if you're getting those calls, you might want to clarify that. But we wanted to let you know that that did go live on March 22nd, so you might be seeing information about that.
So, Wayla, so some of the other things that they might be applying for on that website would be like food assistance programs and other programs that serve children and families.
Yes, and they refer them to a different site for medical benefits, but certainly food assistance, different child care assistance programs. Most of the programs are income-based, so they're asking questions about income and that sort of thing. But they do ask some questions about the children that are in the home, so that they can have them refer themselves to the appropriate place.
Fantastic. And Christy isn't on the call today, but I know that she is very excited that the work on the data system and the database system build is moving forward at a rapid pace, and things are underway. And so at this point, we believe that we are on track with that, and I know we are all looking forward to our new and improved and enhanced data system. So more to come on that. And I think that's all we have from EI Colorado today. We look forward to seeing all of you next month at the statewide meeting. So thanks for being on the call today.
Before we go, I have just a quick question. Sorry, Juanita. This is Christy.
Hi, Christy.
I was wondering, the change that was made to the CCMS, so is that the new system that is implemented in July?
No. This is Beth.
Okay.
And no, it is not. Those changes were made to the DDD web, and our new system is not connected to the DDD web.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, we'll no longer be at the mercy of another system. So that will be fantastic. And yeah, some of those changes we're trying to work through, and I know Christy and Beth are working to try to get some of those things removed for us. Okay, any other questions before we wrap up? Yes.
Hey, Lenita, this is Beth Scully.
Hi.
Hi. Since we started talking about the CCMS changes, can I put a question out there to everybody?
Sure.
I was just wondering if you guys are having difficulty with your IFSP cover pages. Is anybody noticing that their IFSP is not saving or they can't find the record?
Yes, this is Mickey at DDRC, and
Okay.
we are experiencing some similar things along with some IFSPs that we're not able to locate at all in CCMS. So the child is showing up as a consumer, but they are not showing up on the IFSP side.
Okay.
This is Jody at StarPoint. We had to have our computers downgraded or go through maybe Firefox or Chrome, and then it wasn't happening anymore.
Oh, okay.
This is Kelly at North Metro, and we've been experiencing the same problems, and we were told by HELA at the state that they are doing another fix on the 6th, and it should correct it.
Mhm.
So you guys just not having people, are you just holding work right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Until the 6th, and then we are hoping that it's fixed and that we can just start frantically entering.
Okay, good. That was my plan too.
I do have one recommendation. If they're going to make the fix on the 6th, I would wait for 24 hours before you try and make any changes.
Yeah, we figured the 7th. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, sorry about that. It is frustrating, we know. Okay, anything else? Okay, well, thank you all for joining us today, and we will see you next month.